All right, guys, welcome. So, I'm going to take you through sort of this routine that I have where I go online, I have some downtime and I just do a bunch of searches for different type of gigs and jobs and things that I want to do. Now, as you guys know, I sort of piece my income together, right? So I do a little bit of telemedicine, I do healthcare consulting, I do some clinical consulting. These are all for me, they have different definitions. And so for me, each of these kind of makes me still excited enough to want to stay in medicine. And it earns me the kind of money that I need, that I want, to be able to do the traveling that I like to do and enjoy my hobbies. So I have a few tabs open, and this is sort of what I do. Sometimes I'm down with a pencil and a piece of paper, and I'm jotting down certain things and people that I want to contact, etc. But let me take you through my workflow as to from the beginning to the end. So literally, what I'll do is I usually will go on Upwork. Now, I think I've said that many times before. Upwork is the kind of place where you just have to kind of build out your resume in a way, right? So if I click on my profile, it's still, I've probably only been putting enough effort into Upwork over the past 2 years, not a lot. And you can see it shows me located in Tacoma, Washington. I have a few things about the kind of jobs that I've completed. I've completed now 14 jobs. So the nice thing about this is that it shows that I'm actually, quite a lot more professional. Like, all right, this guy's done a bunch of stuff, and I think for the most part, I have good reviews. I think there was one lower review, but it wasn't too bad. And you can read a little bit about me, like languages and professionalism, and my experiences and things that I have. Okay, and a little bit about myself. But I will say that by itself is not enough. Really, what's going to make you stand out is the kind of projects you take on. So when somebody looks at your profile and they see that you're doing the kind of work that they want to hire you for, that's when you really start shining. And so the only way really to do that is to just take on a bunch of little gigs and a bunch of different stuff until you find a thing that you like the most. So what I usually do is I go on Upwork.com. I go to find work and I go find work, literally. I get dropped into this page here. Now, sometimes because of some of the previous searches that I've done, it's going to be able to tell me, okay, here's somebody who wants an expert to build a telemedicine web app. Now, I don't want to build an app. I'm not an app builder. Sometimes some things that I've put in here in my profile, like data science and machine learning, might spark them to give me that job. So I'm going to say it doesn't match my skills. Okay, here's a full-time dietitian. Definitely doesn't match my skills. By doing that, you actually are helping the algorithm give you better positions. Here's a chemist and consultant. Now, I've gone through all these jobs already, so I'm very familiar with it because I spend a good amount of time. Here's somebody, they're looking for an attorney. They're looking for a video editor. Now, if you have experience doing video editing, that's good. What I usually look for is that this is a company that's already spent a good amount of money on Upwork, because that usually means that this company is willing to do stuff. Here's somebody who's looking for a physician I think it's like a radiology company. They want somebody to just put in orders for x-rays and imaging studies. I think I even applied to them and I didn't hear back from them. And we'll go over that in just a minute. So anyway, somebody wants a website designer, project manager. Now, I know that this stuff doesn't look really enticing because you're like, oh, these are not the kind of gigs or jobs that I would really want, right? They may not be the kind of thing that you're interested in, but you're going to have to find what you're most excited about. Maybe it is medical writing. Maybe it is clinical consulting. Maybe it is overseeing scribes. Maybe it is project management. The thing about Upwork is you're going to have to find something that fits your personality the most. And that's just something that you're going to have to figure out. Clinic assistant, aesthetic assistant, medical assistant, executive assistant to the CEO, quick call to discuss a project. So this already looks interesting. Somebody wants to discuss a clinical project, perhaps. Lead medical research. There's a lot of gigs for medical research, like grant writing. If you're comfortable with that, if you're not, very easily find out what it takes to write a grant if you don't have that kind of experience. Clinical surveys. So I do that, and then clinical data. I might type in telemedicine and see what comes up. Part-time research or chemist consultant. The attorney, which is definitely doesn't match my skills. Video editor, as I mentioned, doesn't match my skills. And then women's health research study. Yeah, so I actually applied to this, and you can click on it if you've already applied, and you can see here they were looking for a rate of 20 to 50. It doesn't matter. I'm going to apply at the rate that I think I should I should be paid, right? I want to give them a good case as to why they should hire me and how much I want to charge, right? So this is the proposal. You can actually find it under your proposals here. You can take a look at the proposals that you offered. And I actually did 160 an hour. So over here, I wrote down exactly who I am and what I do and my expertise, etc., and what things I've done in the past that's similar. In fact, I submitted this a few days ago, and I'm actually going to withdraw my proposal at this time. And the reason for that is the client is a bit unresponsive. It's taken a long time for them to get back to me. Actually, I started my proposal at 100 an hour and I bumped it up to 160 after I realized maybe they're on the fence and they don't know if they should hire me. And I'm like, I don't want this gig bad enough. But if I were going to do this gig at this time, based on the other projects that I have, I probably would need to charge them more so that I know that I can actually spend enough time on this. So one of the things, and I wish I could find a good gig right now to give you guys an idea. So is there anything that stands out? Java product manager. Let's say this product management thing is good, right? So here it is. I'm looking for somebody who's a product manager to build a minimum viable product for a telemedicine abortion web app. Ideally, we're simply building out the landing pages. So I would like to start with the low code website builder. Okay, fine. They're looking for a website builder essentially, but they're asking about HIPAA compliance. What role did you play? Now I've done all this, right? I've done work like this, but I'm not quite interested at this. I'm not really interested in this particular position at 40 to 80 an hour. This person doesn't seem to know exactly what it is they're looking for, so it's a bit vague already. I don't see that they've spent any money on this platform. It looks like they have 3 other jobs here, but I don't see any spending. So anyway, if I were to submit a proposal, let's see what that would look like. So I would give them my general profile. Now you can have custom profiles to send out to people. Makes it a little bit easier. And here, again, it's a repeat of what they're looking for. I might say, hey, I'm going to do it at 100. I know you're asking for 40 to 80. Upwork takes 20% of your money. So there's a lot of money going into Upwork. And then my cover letter. Hi, this is Dr. Mohammed Ashori. I'm a board certified family medicine physician. These are the skills that I think that I have that fits this job well. Let me talk a little bit about some of the previous gigs that I've done that's similar to this. Usually with your attachment, it's a good idea to attach your CV. I think that it just makes it very professional. At the end here, what you should try to get into the habit of is say, due to my other projects, due to my current demand on Upwork, please get back to me within 5 days as to whether if you would like to retain my services, get back to me within 5 days, 4 days, 5 days. Usually 3 to 5 days is a good amount of time. So that's the one thing that I would recommend to you guys to really make sure that these guys can get back to you. You can also say, please get back to me within 5 days, even if you cannot yet make up your mind, just so that I know that you're still interested. So that's one way. And then when 5 days passes, so when I go to find work and I go to my proposals, you can see here, I have 1 active proposal here and I have 4 submitted proposals. So this is another one that I'm about to start working on. I got these other 4 proposals. So once it's 9 or 10 days, I know I can just cancel it. I think there's reasons why I left these. Anyway, I don't remember exactly why. So that's freelance Upwork, right? That's a little bit better. I didn't find anything that's exciting. Couple of tricks would be to change your search term. I don't know, physician. Let's try that. Let's see if that's different. I'm definitely going to keep US only on because sometimes they're advertising work for people in India or Hungary and they pay really low. So I'm not interested in that. So medical assistant, prototype, iOS app, project manager, customer care rep, website designer, reformatting already written 200-page medical protocol Word document. So this kind of might be interesting. They've already spent some money. I'm looking for technical writer, editor expertise, managing Word doc challenge. I'm a physician. I've updated existing protocol, reader friendly. I mean, I don't care that it's a physician. I have written tons of documents, so I have plenty of expertise. So if this is the kind of work that I'm interested in and they have a $500 budget, why not? It might be good work for me, a good income. Graphic designer, IT project manager, outpatient EMR. So this is an IT project manager. Just because it's an IT project manager doesn't mean that you have to be an IT expert. So again, it's important to read what it is that they're looking for. For example, if they're like, I just want to make this platform that I already have HIPAA compliant. Well, I can manage the project by bringing on a HIPAA compliance expert and then have them build out the back end of that. That's not really difficult to do. I'm a physician and have not updated my LinkedIn profile in 10 plus years. It's just updating my LinkedIn profile. So I think this is actually a really good one. Estimated budget, I would blow that out of the water. So I would like something like this because I could sit there, do like a 30-minute interview with the physician, get their password, go in, make all the necessary changes, boom, make it super pretty. And if they're a physician, I'm not going to charge them $5. So, $50. So even if that's their fixed price, mix of experience, I would go in and I'd say, $250. These are the things that I would do for you. So I think that might be sort of interesting. But again, it's what are you interested in? What do you like to do? Next tab. Okay, so Indeed is one of my favorite websites to look for gigs, to look for projects. And the way I usually do this is I just come up with any kind of keyword I can think of. Now, you can look for work locally, or you can just type in here remote. That's usually what I do. So I typed in medical consultant. You can type in clinical consultant. You can type in science liaison. You can do compliance, healthcare compliance, or healthcare. You just type in healthcare. So a lot of different stuff. So here, let's look at the first one. You just click on it and it pops up in this window. You can also hold Control and click on it and it'll pop up over here. So you can look at it in a different window. That's usually what I do. I just open a bunch of windows. And once I'm done kind of looking through all the gigs that are available, I just go through each window and like heart, you can put a heart next to it, you can put a heart next to it and see if that's something you like to do or not like to do. So this is a full-time or contract. So usually these days I only look for contract work. I'm not looking for full-time. I'm not looking for part-time. I don't want to be anybody's bitch. I want to have my own thing. So they're looking for somebody with a bachelor, FDA regulations, US work authorization. So that means you have to be able to work in the US. And they're looking for promotional review committee, responsible review approval of product advertising, promotional labeling, as well as healthcare, food and drug, and submitted to the FDA. So you got to have some expertise here submitting stuff to the FDA. Now, I have a good friend. This is all she does. And it's not that complicated. And she actually sent me some really good resources. So for any of you guys who are interested in just being that liaison between product company or a device or tech company and the FDA, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend learning. You can make an insane amount of money. My friend makes very good money and she is not an MD, so I think it's, if it's something that interests you, kind of that technical writing and kind of like learning about the regulations and stuff like that, I think it's pretty fun. So this is a medical information consultant. I don't know the company. It's in San Francisco. And it says, conduct literature searches, expertise, and provide routine surveillance in medical literature. All right, let's see what this is actually asking. So it pays a good amount of money and it's a contract job. So contract jobs usually means you have a lot of time independence. And I don't have to sign a contract that I'm going to be with them full time or show up anywhere. The service company in California is currently seeking an experienced professional to join their staff remotely, medical information consultant. In this role, the medical information consultant will be responsible for collaboration with the medical information department. So many jargon. Create and deliver timely, scientific, accurate, fair, balanced responses to unsolicited medical information inquired through the development of standard response letters or frequent asked questions. Assist with management-centered activities. Serve as a medical expert and provide product disease state training. So, okay, I would this is interesting. This is something I would definitely consider applying to. I have a bachelor's degree. I have oncology background. Um, I'm a family medicine doctor, but I have plenty of oncology experience, so I'm comfortable doing that. Now I got to read this in more detail, so I'm not going to go crazy. But for now, I'm just going to save it. It's going to ask me to sign in with my Google account, so let's do that. I think I probably just got signed out. Good. So, Cerner regulating consultant medical, FDA regulation. Oh, what happened to it? I don't know. Is it gone? No. Medical consultant. No idea. Anyway, we'll keep going. I can always find that later. So this one was the FDA regulation. This is the nice thing. Actually, I'm like I didn't see it. Once if you actually sign in and you look at a job and it says, hey, these guys are looking for FDA regulations. Do you want to update your resume showing that you have FDA experience? Obviously, I don't. I have no desire to, nor do I want those kind of jobs. Cerner registration and scheduling consultant. So this is somebody I think who has to have like kind of be an expert with Cerner. They usually are going to require you to have Cerner certification. Current workflow update system changes. So that's not something that I want to do. Here's a medical consultant. This is about the pay range. I wouldn't worry too much about the pay range, guys. You're going to collect your money hourly. You can you can ask for any kind of pay that you like depending on your expertise level. So don't worry too much about that. This is full time or part time. It says, medical consultant reporting to CEO Quell, comprehensive approach to well-being. It's kind of vague. To take comprehensive and sovereign approach to your health. What was to build a Quell ecosystem? I don't understand. What am I looking for? Requirements: flexible hours to accommodate discussion with international employees. This is developing treatment plans for our heroes based on popular US-based medicine. Different treatment protocol. Addiction medicine, cardiology. Okay, so sure. I'm going to have to look into this more. It might be interesting. It might not be. Right now, I'm just kind of perusing and seeing, hey, what do I want to apply to? And also, what's out there? What are the kind of jobs that people are posting, right? It gives you that barometer for what's going on out there. Revenue cycle consultant, zero desire to do anything like that. Consultant epidemiologist, I don't know. What is that about? Public health. Okay. No, not interested. Information consultant remote. Oh, this was the one that I thought maybe was interesting. Okay, I already saved it. Research, analytical, and analysis skills. Okay, so I can click on update my resume. I can say add research and analysis skills. Sure. That's silly, right? But hey, those are the key words that these employers are looking for. So remember, this is submission failed. I think I've filled my quota of the kind of things I can add. So never mind. Medical economics consultant. Let's look at. I usually just go to the requirements first. Attributes, responsibilities. I don't care about that. Desired skill. Ability to work in a startup. Some relevant experience in healthcare with a focus on government programs. I have a lot of experience with government programs. Experience in Medicare Advantage. Oh, I worked in Medicare Advantage. I don't like Medicare Advantage. It doesn't seem exciting to me. Provide expertise in consultation and policies and procedures to advance. Can provide a contracting clinical program. I have no desire for that. Consultant medical reviewer. All right, so this is paying pretty well for part-time work. Documentation review. No, I don't want to add that to my skills. Other duties and responsibilities. Demonstrate ability to provide medical oversight regarding protocol exam, protocol violations, protocol eligibility issues, accept medical. So I've done a lot of that kind of work, right? When I was at Kaiser Permanente, I did a lot of like protocol development, protocol testing. So that might be interesting. It might not be. It's definitely something I'll kind of add in here and see if I want to come back to it at some later time. International consultant baseline and benchmarking assessment. I have no idea what that means. I probably should. So it's definitely a kind of job that I probably am not qualified for. I usually am very comfortable applying to jobs that I'm completely unqualified for. Because then sometimes you'll have an open discussion and someone's like, you're not really qualified for this. And you're like, oh, cool. Okay, well, it's something that I learned. Nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed. It's like going up to somebody and asking them on a date, no big deal. P11 personal, no, done. Clinical care consultant, USPS, U.S. State Post Office? Full-time. Clinical care consultant will be responsible for handling telephone contacts that require counseling time with a call, follow-up with sensitive cases, provide telephonic consultation, assessment, referral for high-risk individuals. Is this like a suicide hotline kind of a thing? Master's degree in accredited college university, current license certification to practice as a mental health practitioner. Interesting. Crisis intervention, addiction counseling. Oh, this is kind of cool. I don't have the experience, but don't necessarily give up on these kind of jobs. One option is you could always apply, or you could always reach out to the company if they're doing something interesting that you like and say, hey, look, I'm a physician. I have a lot of experience in mental health, and I have a passion for mental health, or I'm a psychiatrist, or I'm a whatever, addiction medicine physician, and I would like to be involved in one way or another. I like what you guys are doing as a company. You guys obviously have really good reviews. Wait, is it that company? Oh no, they have really bad reviews as a company. But anyway, if they had good reviews, you might just reach out to them anyway. So I'm just saying, don't give up. Per diem medical consultant, 75 to 150 an hour. Part-time contract, this looks shady. License to practice medicine. I need a board-certified gastroenterologist to review a patient's care by GI specialists in a hospital setting and give a brief opinion on the appropriate of care given. I don't know. 30 days ago, looks like it's just gone stale. I don't know. If you're a GI doctor, look at this. Recovery resolutions consultant, remote. Utilization management clinical consultant. I actually like these kind of jobs. I think these are pretty interesting. So this is just standard utilization management stuff. I've done it. I think it's fun. I think it's easy. If you're interested in that, probably pays pretty decent. Probably get like 80 or $100 an hour. Senior consultant, medical device, quality regulations. Again, I know the company QServe. It's regulations and stuff like that. Not something that I'm interested in. Let's go to the next page. Dude, this is some good stuff. I'm finding some interesting stuff that I would like to do. Senior policy consultant. Policy consultant. There's a lot of that out there. Intravenous drug use. No. IVD? No. Intravitreal. The fuck is IVD? Intravenous venereal disease? This is an opportunity to consult the clinical risk and hazard review protocol associated with IVD product. That was IVD product. What is an IVD product?
According to U.S. Food and Drug Administration, definition, in vitro diagnostic products are those reagents
in vitro diagnostic products. Okay, cool. In vitro. I can't even bullshit my way into that one. Health outcomes research consultant. Ooh, biostats. That might be interesting. I just did data analytics course. I just finished my data analytics course with Google. I am certified. So what do I need to do? Job summary. Responsible for performing health economics and outcome analysis using statistical methods and modeling. Ooh. No. Thank you and goodbye. Clinical consultant. ACS. Acute coronary syndrome? Critical care experience? No. ICU experience? No. Not experience. Obviously I have residency experience, right? So I've consulted for companies where they're like, oh, you need to be an ICU doctor or have ICU experience. And I'm like, why? Like, what are you looking for? This, and this. Like, yeah, you don't, okay, I know how an ICU is set up. Like, you don't need an ICU doctor and you ain't going to find an ICU doctor, right? So the key is to like, hey, what are you guys looking for? What skills do I have? Can we meet in the middle? Account management, account training, defined geographic area, responsible for ongoing. I think this is the product. This is Tandem Life product. So this is sales. This is a lot of these jobs are sales jobs advertised as otherwise. I don't like sales jobs. I don't like sales jobs because you got to have a passion for it, or you just got to be really good. And I have neither. I just clicked on the company by mistake, which I didn't mean to do. A senior consultant, pharmaceutical marketing. Marketing, again, that's just sales, which I'm not interested in. Healthcare consultant, you have to be an RN or master's. Again, ignore that, okay? Trust me. Apply for the job you're interested in. Don't care don't care too much about these details. Applicants should have experience in pediatrics or family health training, assist in development of programs, healthcare policy according to MADPH requirements, approved change. This is cool. I mean, this is easy, but it's both part-time and it's contract. See, they're looking for a physician. So it's probably not something that I'm interested in, but I'll keep it. Girl Scouts North America. Why would they need a healthcare consultant? That's cool. Leadership. Are you looking for the best summer job ever? No. Well, yeah, I am. Requirements. Must be 21. Physician assistant. Strong knowledge of healthcare. Apply and read, follow directions. Huh? What is this? All right, saving this one. Looks interesting, and it's temporary, so that's always great. Okay, that's it, guys. I'll stop on this one. Let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. So why do I have Craigslist open? Because many busier markets, especially like Los Angeles, California, Portland, Oregon, kind of the bigger cities, lots of jobs will come just on Craigslist. Simple as that, because many physicians will look for these kind of jobs here. So one thing that I do physician, and it always will do what? Physician assistant. So what you can do, you can get rid of the assistant. Excuse me. So now you only get physician. So basically it will delete the physician assistant part, because I don't want any PA work. So they're looking for a staff physician, medical doctor, surgeon, Marina Del Rey. So you should click on these, right? Like, okay, what are they looking for? Seeking a part-time or full-time medical doctor for a great new medical practice. Okay, so they're actually looking for an in-person physician. So I'm not interested in that. But sometimes you can find gigs. Let's see, medical collection manager, third-party liaison, mammogram technologist, pharmacist, LVN radiology. Okay, so I don't see anything here that stands out immediately. I'm not doing a good job searching right now. Like, I can do consultant, physical therapy, ergonomics. All right, let's be done with that. The only reason I pulled up Fiverr, honestly, is if you want to put a gig up there yourself. I have a gig running. I'm doing. Where is it? I don't know how to pull it up. Oh, my gigs. Here we go. So I have a gig to write a resume. I charge a lot. I put it at $500, right? So you might think, but that's stupid. Like, no one's gonna go for it. No one's even looked at it. No one's even nobody would even buy it. Actually, no, people have been looking at it. It's just nobody would buy it. So why do that? Well, the reason is, even if it's just one sale of $500 for the entire year, it's $500 that I made. I don't care. So I'll put it at a really high price, because it's not something I want to do on a day-to-day basis. If you want to lower the price, great, do it. And you can probably sell a lot more gigs. I have no desire to do that. So that's why the price is as high as it is. Finally, I always do LinkedIn. LinkedIn I leave for last, because I really like LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn because it's so professional. And you can reach out to the person who posted the job, to the CMO, to the CEO, to a CFO, and you can just talk about the position. And at any time, if I feel like the person is not upfront, or just doesn't share good information with me, why would I waste my time? So I just let it go. So obviously, the kind of work that I'm looking for is remote. But before I click on some of these things, because obviously LinkedIn knows my preferences, let's just take a look. Physician engagement specialist, no. Medical director, on-site, no. OBGYN physician, no. Product manager medical, on-site. Again, product manager, what are you? Sales. Not interested. Clinical informaticist. Okay. Let's talk about a clinical informaticist positions, right? So there's a lot of these things being advertised, and some of them are very strict. They're like you have to be board certified in healthcare informatics and stuff. And if that's the requirement, obviously I wouldn't waste their time or your time. But sometimes they're just looking for somebody who can maybe help them with some ontology creation or data science work, or like just a clinical review of certain protocols that they have. In that case, it might be worth applying. I wouldn't be too worried about just giving it a shot. Now, these are all on site, so let's go ahead and change this to remote. So, okay, here we go. Regional medical director, color medical. They're probably, what does that mean? Care delivery, including helping other patients. So it looks like that's more clinical work. I'm not looking for clinical medicine. Clinical trial manager, that's interesting, but usually they're going to want you to have some experience, and I don't have any experience in clinical trials. Manage the startup, ongoing day-to-day activities, close out reports. Telemedicine physician, South Dakota, physician remote, medical doctor, wound healing, medical doctor, senior medical writer, which is interesting, director of care management, subject matter expert, contractor, sketchy. Oh, sketchy is that medical student thing, I think. Mutual of Omaha, VP and medical director, workplace solutions claims. Huh, interesting. I think that's workman's comp. What is it about you? What we do, what you'll do. Okay, fine, not interested. Medical coder, coding in general, man. If you guys can learn coding, medical coding, get really good at that, there's a lot of money in that, and there's some easy work to be done over there for sure. You can find just the regular old urgent care, and the guy just, the owner just needs some help getting through some of their billing. Super easy work. Make $50 an hour all day long. Director of telehealth. This is interesting. So it's in Washington, actually. So establish telehealth program strategy, goals, objective, lead implementation of action, serve as subject matter expert, build and maintain strategic working relationships, responsible for the vendor. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is like health operations. So if you're just looking for a job straight out of clinical medicine into something really good, and you have experience, even a little bit, this would be a pretty cool job to land. Field medical director in dermatology. Perfect. We're working for Pfizer. Boom. So there's a job right there. Consultant medical writing, cardiovascular devices, genetic counselor, medical coding specialist. Remember, coding specialist, medical coder. There's a lot of jobs like that, and they're not difficult jobs. Utilization management, aspiring leader program, relay professional education, talent acquisition, inpatient coder. All right, regional medical director. That's the same one. Manager, medical science liaison, oncology. These are interesting, and sometimes you don't have to actually have experience in oncology. It'll tell you. So supervise a team of medical science liaisons, provide ongoing education, training, and collaborate with director of breast, gynecology, oncology, hematology, provide scientific clinical presentation, address specific needs of customers by responding to requests. So yeah, this looks interesting. So a science liaison is essentially somebody you're sort of. There's many different ways. A science liaison is the actual job profile, but as a science liaison, like commonly you'll be hired by a pharmaceutical company, and they need a physician who can sign off on things, who can review things, who can talk to the researchers, who can kind of organize stuff, and then kind of usually report back to some upper management team, and maybe even discuss and be the consultant for whether this is the right direction for this product. Is there any kind of viability if this product goes in this direction based on this current data? It's pretty interesting, but to me, it's like you got to have that interest. Otherwise, medical coder, foster farms. Isn't that the chicken thing? Oh, it's hilarious. Tele what? Neurohospitalist. Oh, I don't know what that is. Physician clinical reviewer, neurologist, physician clinical reviewer, clinical care, critical care, intensivist, work remotely in CBD industry, physician review oncologist, outpatient Physician management, NBA commentator. Oh, okay, NBA commentator. Regional medical office, remote. No. Medical coder, self-employed, remote, flexible opportunity. Right. Yeah, nothing else really looks that interesting. I usually will go like 3 to 4 pages deep, and sometimes if there's a lot of stuff, like if I do a search for a particular, I create a filter and I just filter based on date, like the most recent jobs that were available. Docjobs.com, just clicking on jobs over here. This is interesting. So basically, equity research. Equity research. So the skills you will develop is how to interview physicians, key opinion leaders, and company executives, specific qualifications, usually academic background in healthcare, medicine. You can even many of these jobs are for physicians. This is a doc jobs. This is a Doctor Jobs website. So you're basically an associate in a company, and you're earning money based on making recommendations for investments in particular healthcare products. So that's kind of interesting. An analyst, you guys have heard of the jokes and, being an analyst, you just basically work tons of hours and don't make any money. Medical director, it says it's remote and it's flexible. So that's always weird. And the reason is just you don't hire a lot of medical directors who are remotes. But this is science for a digital health company. Atropa is bringing real world evidence to bedside from every patient encounter. Atropa's Health is seeking highly skilled and experienced clinical scientists to serve as a medical director position focused on ensuring the quality of the clinical consult service. Excel. Might be interesting. Doesn't stand out. Senior medical director, Fusion Pharmaceuticals. So here are actual, these are basically the senior. Like as a senior medical director, you're sort of like, there's probably a junior one, right? There's somebody, an associate. There's somebody else that is under you. So you might need a little bit more expertise or experience. But these are all interesting, honestly. Women's health startup, like they're looking for a chief medical officer. I think that's great. So it's probably somebody who is starting the company, and they're looking for a physician who's going to be launching gynecological service in 2022, goal of serving young independent women with vaginas. Oh, okay, got it. We are a female-founded organization dedicated to changing the way remain independent. We're committed, ability, a modern, progressive, alternate traditional office, serve as a physician executive, PC president. So PC, probably the holder of the PC incorporation, physician executive in digital health. Serve as a final decision maker on all clinical matters, determine the continuity to improve clinical policies, conduct periodic chart review, collaborate with business 2 to 4 hours per week for the first 3 months, ramp up period 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 months in cash compensation. So this is kind of cool. If the work is legitimate, I think it's actually quite interesting. You probably will need to have a state medical license in New York. I'm guessing, as they say, you need to be serve as a final decision maker, do chart review, periodic chart review. Yeah, so I suspect that you would have to have a state license in New York. But I mean, I think it is sort of interesting, right? To have this kind of a gig pop up where you're like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind being like a PC holder. Like if you've never done it, I've done it for Spring Health. I was a PC holder and it was cool. It was interesting. I learned some things and some things I didn't like as much. So it's worth doing. Well, guys and gals, that is it. That concludes my entire search of how I go through this stuff. Now, I definitely don't want you to feel overwhelmed because there's probably so many terms that you're just not as familiar with that maybe I've come across so many times now that I've done this kind of research. But I will say the best thing you can do is to just go online, look for these jobs, look at the criteria, and then keep finding the kind of keyword that will interest you the most. So just apply to different types of jobs and see what replies you get and see what interests are out there. All right, guys, that's it. Take care. Have a good night.